All right, guys, this is going to be a quick video to help you all with using the RACE method so that you all can answer your constructed response on page 122. This is something that I want you all to always refer back to when you need help. Okay, so we're going to start with our directions on 122. It says reread excerpt 3 from Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. Answer the question: how did learning to read affect Douglass's feelings about being a slave and why? We know the word why refers to reasons. We know the word how in this aspect is asking us in what ways. So if we were to rephrase this question, it would say, in what ways did learning to read change Douglass's feelings about being a slave? Give reasons. So we have to give reasons. Okay, be specific with your examples. What specific examples from the text support your thinking? So that lets us know that we need evidence. As you can see, I put a little graphic organizer here for you. We know that we have to restate our question. To do that, we will take out keywords from our excerpt. What are the important words? Learning to read, affect Douglass' feelings about slavery. And of course, why? The why is important only because it's telling us that we need to have reasons. We have to show the reasons. Uh, and so the next thing we're going to do is answer the question. The R and the A should be your very first sentence. A lot of you all struggle with citing evidence, so you have to support your answer with evidence, details from the text. They could be directly from the text, they could be direct quotes. And the direct quotes must be enclosed with quotation marks. Indirect is where you're paraphrasing the quote, but it has to come from this text, from excerpt 3. How do we know it's excerpt 3? Because it's specifically telling us. Then we have to explain how your evidence connects or support your answer. All right. So I just talked about the keywords. Learning to read affect Douglass's feelings about slavery. These words should be utilized in your restatement. If you do not have these words utilized in your restatement, you are wrong. Your restatement is going to be your topic sentence. So let's talk about citing evidence. I'm not going to be on here long. I'm just going to give you some tools to help guide you. This graphic organizer text say, mean, matter. You need to pull out a piece of paper. You need to go ahead and you need to copy this bar graph down. You need to copy this resource. You will be using this in class tomorrow. You need to use it tonight to help you explain your evidence. So where we have text, you're going to put your direct quote. Your quote is only focusing on what? How learning to read affected Douglass. And in other words, what ways? So your text should show ways that learning to read changed Douglass's feelings about being a slave. And the next column, let me get that out the way. And the next column, up under say, you will rephrase or paraphrase your quote in your own words. You're going to summarize this quote. If you can summarize this quote in your own words, that lets me know that you understand this quote. Now, mean. What does this quote mean? What is this quote saying? How does this quote connects to your answer? How does this quote connect to something else that we've read, something that you've gone through? How does this quote connects to background knowledge? How does this quote, connects to um, other things that we've read about Douglass or other things that we've read about other slaves? Your last column, matter. Why is this quote important to your topic? The topic is your answer. So what? Here's what I mean when I say so what. So what is this telling us about your answer? So what's something new that we can pull from that quote and it connects to your answer? How does this quote help prove that you are correct? If you cannot prove that you're correct with this quote, then I would not use that quote. Here are some sentence starters for you. The author stated, according to the text, in the passage or paragraph or line, or you can also say on page, whatever. The author describes, addresses, so you have to pick what verb is being utilized. Is he describing? So you would have to, again, utilize that. I'm sorry, not utilize. You have to know what the author is doing. Let's talk about explaining your cited evidence. So basically what we need to know is what is important about your evidence. What's the most important thing that we should take from your evidence? And that important thing should be the main support for your answer. Here are some sentence starters right here to help you to explain your evidence. You can say from this, I don't want you all to use I or we. We're going to use one. From this quote, one can infer. We know infer means to what? Read between the lines to see how things connect. One may interpret this to mean it seems that, and then you fill in the blank. Blank refers to what? The author or this suggests, conveys, implies, illustrates. You have to decide which one. If you don't know the meaning of these terms, look them up before you use them. Let's look right here at our next block. How can you connect the evidence back to your topic, since it's your claim, your answer? You must connect your evidence back to your answer. This is your wrap up. One can see, and you're going to have to tell me what I can see. What am I supposed to see from your evidence? What am I supposed to know from your evidence and your explanation? So this is something different. You have your explanation right here. You are explaining. Let's see. Here. You are explaining your evidence. And then over here, you're showing me how your explanation is significant to the overall topic. How is your explanation of your evidence significant, important to your overall topic, your answer, your claim? Here's an example. So this same rubric is the same rubric that I'm going to grade you on. Your goal is always to make a 4. Restate, answer, cite, explain. 4. Here's our question. According to the article, it is important for lions to live as a pride. Lions live together in social groups called prides. Most of the lions in a pride are females and their cubs. The lionesses share the work of hunting and raising cubs. Cubs are, as you know, baby lions. By hunting in the pack, lions can take down animals far larger than themselves. Much of the food killed by a pride is taken by the males. In return, they provide protection from other lions. A pride has a well defined territory, which is marked by the males. When lions in a pride meet, they greet one another by head rubbing, licking, and grooming. It's endearing to watch them. So we have a lot of information, but we're going to focus on what? According to the text or according to the article, it is important for lions to live as a pride. So, in other words, why is it important for lions to live together as a pride? Why? Why? So, what are we going to do? First thing we're going to do is pull out what? Words from our passage. Important. What else? Lions. What else? Live. And last is what? As a pride. So your restatement, as we see right here, it is important for lions to live as a pride because it's letting me know that you're about to answer. You don't always have to use the word because. Okay? Now, here's the answer. They depend on one another for survival. So now you have to prove it, right? So that means we have to go back into the text. This is the answer. Don't laugh at me. I know it's ugly, but that's okay. So now we're going to go back into the text. We use a sentence starter. For example, the article states that. So now we're going to go back in. We're going to do what? We're going to get us some textual evidence. The lionesses share the work of hunting and raising cubs, and the males did what? Provide protection. Yep, from other lions. So this is showing what? That they do what? They work together. And because they work together when they hunt. So why is it important? Important for them working together. They can share the what? Yep. Share the responsibility. And then they will be able to do what? If I can share the responsibility, they will be able to do what? Survive for a long time. Live longer. All right? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for your RACE. All right, you guys. Have a good night.